Hello everyone and welcome to the PRA, Prodigy Racing Association, and this is the TNT IndyCar series with the Prodigy Racing Association, and welcome to 25 laps at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. A little bit different than what we were supposed to have last week. We were supposed to have a broadcast, not last week, week before, I apologize, but we had some technical difficulties. Back then we were supposed to have a 50 laps here at the Oval, but we did not. Now we're back here again 2 weeks later for the road course. Now let's take a look at some of our race info here. We have 3 sets of tires, primary or alternate, 2 faster pairs, and 80% fuel. It's going to allow us for some pit stops about probably around a little bit towards the end, maybe halfway through, depending on how they run them. Now let's take a look actually, because we're going to be coming to qualifying in about 2 minutes. Let's look at how this track's going to run this week. Take a look at the different camera angles. We're not seeing anything right now. Some of these drivers are, and we can take a look, and I can show you some of these drivers' speeds right now. Right now, Andrew Duncan in the, the number 12 car is running our fastest time right now at about 1 minute and 12 seconds. And right behind him, we're just showing intervals between each car. So they're about... Deckard is quite close to Duncan in his speed, but he's running primaries compared to the alternates for Duncan. Alternates are going to wear down quite a bit quicker than the primaries, and that's going to matter a bit for lap times decreasing quicker for Duncan on those alternates if he were to run them in the race in the primaries. Let's take a look and see if I can get these car numbers to show up. There we go. We got the 12, and there we go. They're all showing up now slowly. 12, 26, 28, 6, and the 999 car for Ethan Reed. We have a decent-sized grid at about 11, almost 13 cars actually now. Some cars newer into the grid, Kuba and Murray. They're not showing up on our tower right now as they have not run laps. We are now getting to qualifying as practice is over. We are on about a 30-minute practice, let everybody get used to this new tire model. Some stuff has changed with the new iRacing update. Just get rid of that tower and show a little bit of how this qualifying is going to go. We have a lone qualifying. They're going to run a few laps. But again, we have 3 sets of tires. That's going to actually play quite a bit of a strategy difference here as we have 25 laps. But I don't think we're going to pit 3 times in 25 laps, depending on how these tires are going to wear, though. This is a almost 2.5 mile track, so it is going to matter though then, because this was a 2.5 mile oval. It's a almost 2.5. I think it's a 2.43. I can pull up the race info. It's only going to show us in kilometers, so it's about a 2.43 mile track for the road course. So it's close to the oval's length, but you're not running nearly as fast, as some of these corners are going to be rough. You're going to see the corner I think it's 5 or 6. It's that really rough. You can see it looks like an L. It's going to make a big difference. They're going to have to go really slow through there and really slow through the backstretch, coming back almost to the start-finish line. Back near that area, you're going to have to go really slow as well. Let's take a look at Andrew Duncan as he is doing some of his qualifying. This is the driver who set our faster laps in the qualifying, or in practice. See how he does in qualifying. I'm going to go a little bit under the curb there. Go way near that end of that track. I think he got a little bit off there. But this is going to be good for when we actually run in those races. He's going to be running much faster compared to everybody else if he runs laps like that. He's getting to the start-finish line. Let's see how this starts off for him. Here we go. Coming back down that straight. That straight's where we're going to get most of our speed in this entire run. And it's going to make a big difference. You're going to see a lot of people try to pass through here. But it's going to be hard because that is a tight corner. If you watch the Sanzio Grand Prix this year for the actual IndyCar series, you can tell a big difference as a lot of people shoot it wide around there, carrying more speed into that corner. We might see some people try to do that here. Those corners you saw him go through is also going to make a huge difference. As right now, I think let's take a look at Thomas, see how far down the track he is, because he is running, has the longest time right now, so he might be a little bit farther down the line. This is another corner where we're going to have to see a little bit slower times coming up. This is a much slower corner. You're going to have to go way slow it down there, and then get ready to come back up to speed for that straight stretch coming back down. See what type of lap time he sets for one of his qualifying times. Show the timing tower right now. He has a 1:12. Quite a good lap time there from Thomas. Oh, and it's Deckard right now with the fastest lap of a 12.356. Let's take a look at how he is running. Take a watch his next lap as Aaron. I think one of the ones that was running faster in practice is a bit lower on that leaderboard right now. Right now we have Zach. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I'll butcher it. But we have him running in the first position right now with quite a bit faster time, about 0.2 of a second almost. So watch as Kyle Deckard goes through this corner, another one of the slower corners you're going to have to slow down for, as that curb right there is unforgiving. Andrew Duncan, let's see what happened to him. As I don't know if he got off pace or his lap's just not showing up yet. Because it's saying he's running about 2:12 and he is back up onto the... He might have run off track at some point. Cannot see, we cannot tell at the moment because he's going to run the slowest lap so far, I think. Kyle Deckard. Running a pretty good lap so far. He's coming back around to his next lap time here. Running quite a bit slower lap time there. That's his alternates. They fall off really, really quickly. See, everybody wants to shoot it. Does not want to go wide at that corner as it gives you so much less momentum. But if you can get it off, ooh, you think he goes almost off a little bit off that track there. As we still have Zach Lesenby. I'm going to try to say it that way for this race. I'm going to ask him myself, hopefully. Maybe we'll get to ask him ourselves. We're interviewing the top 3 drivers here after the race, so stick around if you want to talk to the top 3 people here. Because right now he is setting a really good lap times. We've got 9 people on here so far who have qualified, as Duncan hasn't. Alex Jones, Ryan McInnell, and Joey Kuba have yet to qualify. Joey Kuba was not in practice either. Andrew Duncan in the green, though, and you can see right through here is Kyle Deckard sets a faster lap on that first section. We have 4 sections here, and that's what it means, is the yellow is showing up means they're setting slower than the leader or themselves. I think it's the leader, and the green means they're setting about average, about the normal to themselves, and the purple, I apologize, cannot speak today, it means they are setting faster than the leader. Green is faster than themselves, and orange is slower than themselves. As we are coming back, and let's take a look at how much longer do we have. And this is qualifying. We have a little bit longer left in qualifying. As we have another 10th car who's now qualified. Let's watch this car. This is the car of... Who is this? This is Richard Murray in the number 777 car. Take a look at how he is doing in these laps. Richard Murray, see, he has set slower lap times in his first lap so far. Oh, and he spins himself around on that corner. Trying to get back on, do not spin those tires too much, as you will just get yourself spun around back on that track. So he's just going to reset back into the pits. Alex Jones now trying to qualify. That is our 11th car on the grid so far. We have Ryan McInnell also trying to qualify. That'll be our 12th car on the grid. We have 12 cars out of 13 who have qualified, or qualifying at the moment. Let's take a look. This is Ryan McInnell, who is setting a 4-minute lap time. Something must have went wrong here. It's either a spin of some sort or some sort of incident, because it's coming back around with 5 minutes on the clock. Lap 1 was a minute. We'll see how this all lines up at the end of qualifying and see who is going to be where on our grid. And I think it's just not tracking in my software, so he is probably setting much faster lap times. That was probably his runaround lap, and here we go for his first lap, I'd say. Because it did not qualify there. That is his first lap around, and ooh. Here we go. Setting his tracking for a little bit slower. Alex Jones setting a 1 minute 17 seconds. See where he ends up is still a little bit off the pace. Ryan McInerney setting and tracking in the green right now to set up for a good lap as he's going through these corners really well, running them wide to set down a good run down that stretch. As he's coming back to some of the tricky corners, as those were run really well back off that straight, and that was a good lap so far. And here we go through these corners. He got off track a little bit there, and that's going to mess him up for the rest of this lap, I think. Now he's coming back down to the stretch. See what this lap is going to track as, and it's going to track as a 1:14. Right now, running 6th in our grid. Right now we have Alex Jones running 12th, and Ryan McInerney is running 6th. Right now I think we were waiting on Joey Kuba to try and do his qualifying. That'll be our 13th car on the grid if he qualifies. So far we have 4 minutes left in qualifying. Take a look left, is our only car left qualifying, I think, is Alex Jones. No, we have Ryan McInerney, actually. He's going back for a second lap. Here we go, going down some of these trickier corners. Take a look from the roll bar here. So you can see what the drivers are, almost what the drivers are seeing here. As we look from the top of the car. Going through these trickier corners, these are some of the more rough ones. That one and that just straight into those corners, that straight, almost L-shaped corner. Those are the more rough ones. And coming down here, you have another corner that's going to be rough. As that is an almost a straight L-shaped corner into another rough corner. These are going to matter for the pace through these corners here. If you don't get good laps here, you are not going to get a good lap into the straightest stretch where you're going to maintain most of your speed for the rest of the lap. This is the spot where you're getting most of your speed. So he's setting a 1:11. Qualifying is going to be checkered flagged there. And we are coming back up to start the race soon. So hang around, everybody. We have 25 laps of action-packed racing coming your way. As Kyle, let's take a look at our grid. Grid starting this way, we have Kyle Deckard on the outside, starting pole position. We have Zach Lesenby in the 28 car, Kyle Deckard in the 26, I apologize. Ethan Reed in the 999 car, starting 3rd. Thomas Coonan in the 68 car, starting 4th. Andrew Duncan in the 12 car, starting 5th. Ryan McInerney in the 6 car, starting 6th. 7th, we have 29 car, Rodney Roberts, and Aaron Fontaine in the 18 car, starting 8th. In 9th, we have Brad Morith in the 384 car. In the 777 car, we have in 10th place, Richard Murray. In the 2 car, we have Daniel, I cannot pronounce his, that is a name that is not even showing up. It's long on the back part. He's in the 2 car. Alex Jones in the 54 car, starting 12th on our grid. In the back here, we have 13 car of Joey Kuba, who is yet to grid. That is everybody for our grid so far. And let's take a look at track temperatures we are waiting here. Track temperature, 24 degrees Celsius at 38 degrees Celsius on the track. That is a little bit warm, but not too warm to make issues for everybody here so far. And again, we have 25 laps here, so this will be an interesting and probably an action-packed race here, because they do not have too much time to make moves. And I do not seem to be able to get this popped up, so we may not be able to see laps left. We have push to pass. I forgot to mention that. Push to pass is a little bit of extra horsepower you can get in your car to push it forward just a little bit more to make these passes. We have 200 seconds of that. Still waiting on Alex. Alex Jones is off the grid for a second, waiting on him and Joey Kuba. Gridding is over, and we are ready to start the race. This is the formation lap, everybody. Then we will be getting started, and we do have laps. This is not the actual laps yet. These gridding laps do not count, but it will reset after we get back to the green flag. Everybody warming up those tires. This heat in these tires is going to make a big difference, because you need that grip to get into these corners and make some of these tighter corners at faster speeds. A slower pacing lap, as this is a tighter track. We're going to run double wide because we're only going to run one lap pace. Again, we have Kyle Deckard running a really good lap, and we do have drivers on different types of tires. We have alternates and primaries. Kyle Deckard starting on the alternates, and Zach Lesenby starting on primaries, it seems. That is going to be a big factor in this race, too, because these alternates are going to fall off on lap time much quicker than the primaries. But the primaries do not have the overall lap time in general. You can see the difference by the red sidewalls and the black sidewalls. As you can see, some of these outer cars do have different outside tires. You can see that red little rim on the outside. That's going to tell you it's an alternate. If it's in a little bit of a grayer outside rim, it's going to tell you it's a primary. Alex Jones starting from the pits. Still pacing. This is going to be quite a long pace lap here, as this is quite a long track. Again, almost 2.5 miles. It's about 2.43 if I'm correct. If anybody is wrong, if I'm wrong, I mean, I think it's 2.43. It's 3.4 something kilometers. It's almost the length of the oval, which the oval runs really rapid pace, and here we are not running nearly as rapid. But it's still going to run a very fast speed. As some of these straights, you are going to get up to 170 miles an hour. And some of these corners, you're going to have to slow down to about 50 or 60. As you're going to have to take them very, very carefully to not run off the track. And you're going to have to take them careful to not run into each other, as you're going to be running side by side through some of these corners. And the pace car is almost ready to pull off here. No, actually, this is going down the backstretch. I apologize. Oh, yeah, we were pulling off the pace car. No, I apologize. This is wrong. This track looks so identical in so many places, and that's also going to be a difference for these drivers, as they're going to have to identify where is what. I mean, you're going to have to prepare for each corner. Coming into it, you're going to have to make that decision of, where am I going to decide to go faster through? Because I'm going to have to, there's going to be another corner on the other side. What's going to make that difference? Pace car is off, and we are going to get ready for 25 laps of action-packed racing, everybody. And the green flag is out. And everybody's off. And we're seeing a little bit of people trying to go 3 wide here, and a little bit of contact there from 2 cars. And see who's going to make that inside line to make that corner as best as they can. Seems to be Kyle Deckard still in the lead. That 26 car. See how he's going to make this corner here. He's going to go out to the outside a little bit. We're running single file through here. He's still making a good lap time here. Is he going to make it good through this little bit of a chicane almost like? And wow, he makes a good lap time. Still, actually, the interval is decreasing between him and Lesenby. And Lesenby is gaining on him. As we are coming through this corner, he gets a little bit of a better run, it seems. As Lesenby actually gets a little bit off the gas there. And now we have Kyle Deckard still in the lead, making some good lap times. We have a little bit of a battle back here. Somebody's off the track. That seems Ryan McInnell off the track here. Going to be a little bit of a bad start to this 25-lap race for him. We have a little bit of a pass going on here, as we have we have a little bit of brakes locking up here for, I think that was Thomas Coonan. Yeah, it was him locking up his brakes. That's going to set up and mess up his tires for the rest of the race too, as it's going to wear them down quicker than everybody else's. As Kyle Deckard sets the fastest lap so far, and we have Alex Duncan using a little bit of that push to pass, and you can see it. That decreasing bar, it's gone down to 196 when everybody else still has 200 left. Let's take a look. Is he trying to make a pass? Or Andrew Duncan, I apologize. Is he trying to make a pass? No, he's just trying to gain that distance that he has between him and Ethan Reed. He's still using that push to pass down these straights. He only has 200 seconds of it. He's trying to decrease that gap so he can make a pass. Also trying to get the Aaron Fontaine off his tail. As Kyle Deckard is getting a big lead off the corner, as he has got about a 1 2/10 of a second lead. Setting fast laps each time. See if we got anybody with a small gap between them. The field is fanning out now, and we got everybody with about half of a second off of each other. Ryan McInnell off the most here. See where he is at, as he is pitted, I think. Or he is just coming off of the corner of the straight there. Alex Jones is in pit lane, and Kyle Deckard is coming back through that corner. It's got a huge lead of about 1 5/10. Still setting incredible speed, blazing lap times for Kyle Deckard. And these three cars right here are catching up to each other a little bit, still close. Not too close to make a pass, but close enough to make a little bit nervous for each other. I think the cars are Andrew Duncan, Aaron Fontaine, and Thomas Coonan, who is down 2 positions, probably due to blocking up his brakes, as these cars are using that push to pass. These cars behind them are using that push to pass as well, trying to catch those positions up. And you can see that push to pass, again, decreasing red bar in the top, in that last part of the timing chart. Kyle Deckard has the fastest lap time so far with a 1 minute, 12 seconds. And actually, he has a little bit of company catching up on him, but not by much. As you can see, the interval is decreasing through some of these corners. I think Zach Lesenby has a little bit of that last section, has a bit of a better section there. Sectors are going to matter here, as if you don't get that last sector good, as you can see Zach Lesenby is decreasing that interval by a lot through that middle part there. That big straightaway is going to make a huge difference through that stretch. As we have Aaron Fontaine is getting close to Andrew Duncan. They're going to see if we might see a pass coming up here soon. As when they get on this little bit of a straight here, we might see Aaron Fontaine use that push to pass. And we do. He is using that push to pass, but he cannot burn too much, as he only has 200 seconds. See how much of a pass he can get, how much of a bit of a run he has. Is he going to get that pass? He's not through this straight. He might have it down the back straight. Again, these corners right here, that's a little bit of a roller coaster if you're in that car, as you're just turning that wheel as much as you can to get through there. And that's going to make a huge difference. And it seems to me that Andrew Duncan has a little bit more push to pass so far, and Aaron Fontaine is going to make a big difference. Oh, and he goes a little bit off the track, and that's going to make a big difference for Fontaine and the 18 cars. He's going to be able to use that push to pass coming down the back stretch, that front stretch, and he's going to be able to get a good run off on him and might be able to catch up, as they are both using their push to pass, and they are both trying to keep up and catch on each other. And that lead is decreasing 2/10 now. He's going to try to go to the outside. Is he not going to make it? No, he's not. Not yet. Does not have that speed. Does not have that momentum yet. The tires have not worn yet. 5 out of 25 laps yet. Done. We have a little bit of a gaining. You can see the tires are... Actually, Coonan is catching up to Fontaine now. On his bumper. He's going to have to use that push to pass to maintain that distance between them. But that Coonan still has 197 seconds. It's towards the end of the race. He's going to use it and abuse it to catch people. As Roberts has used it up to almost half of his in this 25. In 5 laps in, we have used that much. That is going to be a bad situation for him towards the end of the race when he's trying to fend off these people who have caught up to him using the push to pass they have saved. Ryan McConnell and Alex Jones are a lap down. That's what is shown by the blue highlighted in their name. As again, I think Duncan has gone off a little bit. You can see the marks in the tracks. People are going off slightly there. It's not going to make a huge difference. Tire lock up a little bit in the back. You can see it in the background. I think that was from Murray. He just had a little bit of a tire lock up there. He's the last car on the lead lap. About 3 6/10 of a second off. As he's trying to make that momentum to catch back up. But he has not used that push to pass yet. 200 seconds left for him. So far, everybody is kind of widening back out again, as we see a little bit as Brad Morath is up 2 positions. Daniel, last name I cannot pronounce, we're just going to call him Daniel, and then 2-car has gained up 2 positions as well. Fontaine up 3 positions, starting in 8th up to 5th. Duncan up into the 4th position, starting in 5th as well, and the 3 positions... 3 leaders are in their respective positions they started in. Kyle Deckard setting up a blazing laps each and every time, as his best lap and last lap are by quite a bit of a difference, but he's still setting faster laps than the rest of the field. Push to pass being used by Deckard as he is trying to widen that gap so nobody can catch up to him still. As Lesenby still has 200 seconds left and might be able to use that to catch up to him in the 25 laps. We still have 25 laps we had. Now we're down. We have 7. We have 7 we have done. We have quite a bit left still. 18 laps left, and it's going to make a big difference as Lesenby is still catching up. Slowly but surely gaining on that every chance he gets. Gaining that lap time, but still Deckard is still widening it, and it's a push and pull situation. But Lesenby's still gaining it everywhere he can. Lesenby has a better corner where Deckard has a worse one, but Deckard has a better one where Lesenby has a worse one. And it seems like they're back and forth because they still maintain a decent position of about 2.2 seconds. Oh, we have Roberts catching up and just past Fontaine. Morth, I mean. Oh, these cars are right near each other now. A little bit of a second off of each other. See if we can use this push to pass to catch each other. Roberts has used almost has 71 seconds left. That is going to kill him in the last sections of this race. Oh, a little bit squirrely off that corner there for Roberts. As, oh, he's going to go into the pits and try to get new tires. That is going to gain him more position after he comes out, but he is going to be the first one to pit. First one on the lead lap, I'd say, actually. I think we had one other car pit, that was McInnell, and he is 1.6 kilometers down. Into the pit road, actually. McInnell is quite a bit down, as Roberts is just coming off of the pit road. This is a long pit road. It is going to make the hugest difference when you're making these lap times. He is going to get lapped probably one time, and he's going to get closer to another because that is such a long pit road with such a slow lap time that you can, such a slow speed you can go down it, and it's going to make that difference for his race. As we see Kyle Deckard going back down here, already lapped him. But Roberts is already going to be lapped by McInnell now back into passing Roberts here as he is on the primary tire now. That alternate is going to wear so quick as we see Lesenby on that primary, and it's probably why he's able to catch to Deckard any bit because Deckard was setting blazing speeds, but it's probably because he was on the alternate. That alternate is good, but it's not good for long. This is a short race and we have 3 sets of tires. It's going to make that difference as to which sets of tires you use, as Deckard is using his push to pass to widen that gap if he can. Lesenby still has 200 seconds left of that push to pass, and again, it is going to kill everyone else in that field in that lead pack when he is able to use and abuse that push to pass for the last little bit of this race. Reed in the 999 car, starting in third, still in third, has used 100. He has 113 seconds left. Used almost half of his, as we have a lot of people who have used theirs, but a couple that have not used any. We still have 12 cars on the grid. Nobody is out yet. Nobody's had an accident. That is a blessing so far, as this track is fast and it is dangerous a little bit, as you have to go close and you have to go fast through these corners. We're going to see Deckard try to put another car a lap down. This is Roberts and McInnell, and that was... Actually, I think he was putting Jones another lap down. Jones seems to be struggling a little bit. Here's his last lap time was a 1 minute 24 seconds. So, yeah, he is struggling a little bit on the pace. Still keeping up, though, as he is only 1 lap down. Fontaine is pitting now. We have another car in the pit lane. Another long pit lane ride down here. Watching the cars pass him by. It's going to make a huge difference for these drivers as they pit. As Fontaine was also on that alternate. Are we going to see him switch to the primaries here? Are they just wearing too quick? Is going to be that question. We'll see on the side of our screen here in the timing chart as he is. Yes, and Fontaine does switch to the primaries, as we see from a lot of the people who have pitted. Was it a good idea to start on the alternates here? As Kyle Deckard is going down pit lane. Again, I think it's these alternates wearing so quickly. But again, these drivers are going to have to pit at some point. Tires are going to wear, and Ethan Reed, everybody is passing by Deckard as he is going to come down pit road in the slow drop down. Lesenby now our leader for now, as he is setting some decent speed, and he has 200 seconds left of his push to pass. Not used a single second. Everybody, most people up positions, except for the few that are down, and the top 5, everybody's up a position, as we see Murray go and to make that pass. So Murray go ahead and do that, get into the top 5. As we see a couple others go ahead and pit, as Duncan has pitted now. Again, that is on that alternate tire. He's still on the alternate tire. The 12 car back on the alternates, as we only have 2 cars on the alternates. The rest are on primaries now. A little bit off track there for the leader. Actually, Lesenby with Reed about 6 seconds behind him, with a couple other lapped cars in between them. As this is where it's going to get interesting. Are we going to see contact between some of these cars trying to make passes? As some of these cars are going to be different pace now. Different tires, different sets of tires, and different laps on each of these sets of tires. Primaries with newer primaries are going to do better than the older primaries. But the newer alternates are going to do better than the newer primaries. And even the older primaries are going to do even worse. So this is where it's all going to come into play, this strategy of where you started, on what tires, and how you're going to race from there. As we're going to see Lesenby coming up on a lapped car, and that is the... Ooh, that is the 26 car. No, it's not the 26 car. I cannot tell these numbers. Some of these cars have white numbers on a white car, and that is a disaster for these. Imagine spotters in these races trying to tell what car is what. As you can see, these cars are a little bit messy, and that is a 2 car, I believe. No, it's not the 2 car. I can't even tell. Oh, and we have a car gone off track a little bit there. With Fontaine here going back a little bit in the pack, as he is in 11th now. Started really well, passing McAnell, who's in pit lane. He's going into 10th now, but still started into the 8th position. McAnell starting in the 6th position, and now into 11th, going down pit road, the slow ride. I mean, there's a song about that, but we have Daniel, who was started in 11th, and is now up into 5th position. It's a good race for him so far. Setting solid lap times, but nowhere near the leader, who is at a 1.03. Take a look at Murray in that purple 777 car in their 4th position slot, about 19 seconds off of the car behind him, and about 5 seconds off of the car in front of him. Probably just 19 seconds off the car in front of him, 3 seconds off the car behind him. These cars, this is how it works. It is the 19 seconds is the interval between him and the car in front. 3 seconds is the interval between the car in front of him, which is Daniel and Murray. The distance between Daniel and Murray, 19 seconds between Murray and Coon. As this is the tricky corner I keep talking about. Let's see how he does it. As he goes a little bit off the curb. Good racing there, as he does not go off that and get a little bit squirrely, as we've seen quite a few people do. As now we have only one driver on the alternates, and that is Duncan here, and he is running in 7th in that 12 car. Ooh, he gets a little bit of contact with that outside wall, and it's good that he did it there and not off track, because if he, not on these corners here, because he would have went off track. Here we go. We see him go a little bit wider through that corner. He gets a good run. As he got a really good run through there, as he's gaining on the car in front of him, which is Deckard. Used to be our leader, started on pole position, now down 5 positions and running in 6th. We are on lap 14 out of 25. Oh, as he locks his brakes and goes off track. 12 car's going to get a little bit loose there. And we have Morith who can get a chance to use that push to pass to gain that distance. Does he gain much? No, Morith didn't gain as much as I would have expected there, as he did not have much of a chance. Must have been going through some of those slower corners as Duncan got back on that gas and got back into the running here. Deckard has about 5 seconds, 4 seconds, so now it's gaining on those top people in front of him. Coonan is now pitted. Murray up into the 4th position. Now going down pit road. Everybody is pitting. Everybody's going to have to pit at some point. It's going to cycle back out in a different way than it was before. Oh, we have a pass, I think. No, that was just somebody pitting. We have a completely different set of leaders now, as we have everybody is pitting at different times. And that's going to, again, set up that racing intervals that is going to be entirely different for the rest of the race. We have 10 laps to go. Again, this is a long race, though, so 10 laps doesn't mean much. And again, we got a little bit of off track there from Lesenby. Tires must be wearing out a little bit more, as he still has 200 seconds to push to pass. That is going to make a difference, as he's starting to use it now. See that? He gets a good run down that straightest stretch there. It's a great place to use that push to pass on this track. Here we see that, make that corner. Goes for a good run, does not go off track like we've seen so many drivers do so far. Ooh, a little bit squirrely through there, but good running. He saves it, though. Keeps it in a straight line. That's all you can ask at this point. Running off old tires, all you can ask is to keep it in a straight line. As Daniel, starting in the 11th position, is running 3rd right now. As the Ethan Reed is a little bit faster. Everybody's a little bit faster than Daniel right now, except for Thomas, who is a little bit off the pace right now. Must have just pitted. As we're going to see, a lot of people just pitting here. Ethan Reed here, making some good laps, a little bit close to that curb there, but there is no curb. I mean, there is a little bit of one, but you can't make a difference in these cars. As we see, he goes there, and ooh, a little bit close to the edge there, and almost loses it. As you can see, that's tires spinning as he goes down pit road for the slow ride. As we see, Lesenby now is still the leader, and he's the only one you'll get to pit. As Duncan is not the only one, as Coonan is now go down pit lane, but was another one on these alternate tires. Everybody else on primaries. As Kyle Deckard is in 4th, with Daniel and Reed back in front of him, but Reed is yet to pit, is now pitting, so Deckard will get back in front of him. Again, Deckard being was a lap down before. After he pitted from the lead, starting on pole position, and he will get back to 2nd position now. Kyle Deckard back in 2nd position. Lesenby. These two have switched positions now with about a 41-second distance between him and Lesenby. Is Lesenby going to be able to cycle back out? But I doubt it with that pit road. That pit road distance, that long, slow ride is. Now Lesenby goes down for the slow ride. How is Deckard going to do? Is he going to cycle back out to the lead here? About 2 kilometers away from the pit road entrance where Lesenby is. Deckard has enough to probably make it on the lead. Make it into the lead on fuel and probably finish the race. And now we have a few others on alternates now with Duncan, Reed, Coonan on alternates now. Now let's take a look at Lesenby. Is he still making that drive down pit road? Still hasn't made it to his pit stall. Yeah, Deckard's going to be able to cycle back out front. We're going to see him coming through here, these tricky corners, and now going to make it down for that ride down to the straight stretch. He gets a little bit loose there because he cannot make a great run. Deckard's going to use that push to pass a little bit there to get that momentum and keep that momentum. Going down the straight stretch, we have 18 laps left still. Zach Lesenby is now coming out of pit road and is going to be a battle for close to the lead. As we're going to see him come off of pit road, almost pretty close together, about 3 seconds off. We might see a little bit of a battle here as Lesenby still has 187 seconds of that push to pass on alternate tires and newer alternate tires. It'll last. Oh, as Lesenby spins out into the grass and into the wall with a pretty heavy damage. He is out for that race. Lesenby's race has probably just ended, everybody, as Deckard is now in the lead with a pretty comfortable lead of about 11 seconds off to second place, and Duncan is running everybody's running slower pace than Deckard. Deckard has got a pretty comfortable lead with still 65 seconds left of his push to pass as Lesenby just had an accident. Let's take a look back at what just happened there, everybody. Take a look back at what this just happened, what's transpired here. I think he just got a little loose off the corner. I mean, there's nothing which you can expect there. I mean, you can't save that as much as you would expect. Fresh tires, goes into the curb, gets into the curb too much, loses it straight into the wall. Let's take a look back to Kyle Deckard, our leader right now, off by an interval of now gaining an interval, now up to 12.5 seconds, as Ethan Reed has now set our fastest lap of the session with a 12.64. A 1 minute and 12.64 seconds. Ethan Reed catching up to Duncan. We're going to see a pass. Ethan Reed's got it, but are we going to see a pass back from Duncan? Oh, no, we're not, because he's going to get a good run. Oh, into that curb. That's what we saw from Lesenby. Are we going to see an accident like that before from some of these passes? Ethan Reed coming back at it again. No, he doesn't. Does he have it with 37 seconds left of that push to pass? But Duncan only has 26, almost bumper to bumper. Let's see if we can get a little bit of action here in this passing here. Going down the straightest stretch, Ethan. Alex used a little bit of push to pass there. Oh, going for the inside. No, he doesn't have the momentum there. Oh, into that, get a little bit of loose, and he spins out. Ethan Reed lost that and bumped into that. Got mid-air. Let's take a look at that shot again. Going down here, he goes for the shot to go wide and go to the inside. Doesn't make it, still tries it, goes and gets a little bit of a bump and just spins out and loses that car. Now he's got about a 6-second gap between him and Duncan. I think unless we have a major incident, we might have our position settled so far in the top 3. Oh, we have a little bit of spin out for the number 2 of, what was the number 2 car? That was number 2 of Daniel. I cannot pronounce that last name. Are we going to see Alex Jones try to catch up to him? Take a look at Daniel spin out again. Let's see what happened there. I don't think he got any help. He just came off pit road. Got into it a little too fast. Yeah, just got into it too fast with not warmed up tires and spun himself out. Right in front of one of the cars there. It was a red car. Was one of our cars not even running in the contention for the lead, though? No, it was one of the cars running for the lead. That was Reed, I think. But either way, we still have quite a bit of a battle here, as we have quite a bit of few battles we've seen. Some people spinning out, some people not. As let's take a look back to live coverage. As we have looked through some of these accidents, we have 21 laps completed. We have 4 laps to go. As Kyle Deckard's doing some pretty good lap times. He's still setting faster laps than anybody other than Reed. Reed running really good lap times. Right now, Ethan Reed is on those alternate tires. Same with Duncan in the 12 car. Gaining, I think Ethan Reed is gaining on Duncan because he is setting a 1 minute 12 second right there. And Andrew Duncan set a 1 minute 14 that last lap by. He might be able to catch up. But you can see that lap time decreasing, that interval decreasing between Ethan Reed and Andrew Duncan. Is that going to be the game of today? The name of the day? As we can see some people using that last little bit of their push to pass. We still have quite a bit left, though. 4 laps is still about 10 miles. Let's see who everybody going to use their push to pass and not have much left, but that's going to open that door for a little bit left in those last few laps. 3 laps left, everybody. That's about 7.5 miles, so hang on. We still got about 3 or 4 minutes left of racing. After this, again, we do have a little bit of an interview. Let's take a look at the track temperature to show the weather here. Has it changed? It has not. Everything's about the same. As we see these cars go onto the curb there, they're getting a little bit more risky, you can tell. Just trying to maintain that interval. Trying to maintain that distance between them. 15 seconds between Kyle Deckard and Andrew Duncan. Ethan Reed is gaining on Duncan with about, it's gotten down to 2.7, 2.75 now. As you can see, it is decreasing most of the week. It's almost always going down, except for sometimes it's going up. And now it's going back to going down, 2.5, 2.3. What are we going to see from Ethan and Andrew? Take a look at the Ethan Reed's car as he is setting some blazing speeds faster than anybody in the field except Lesenby, who just set the fastest lap of the session, I think, with a 1 minute and 12.32 seconds lap time. He is still set in our 10th position right now as one of the cars, I think it was Daniel, is out of the race at the moment. He's just not in his car. Something must have happened there. Must have damaged him. So we have him out of the car. Lesenby got his fast repair, is back on track, set in blazing speeds, seeing if he can make up some of these positions. 1 minute, 11 seconds, 0.84. 11.84 seconds. That is blazing fast. Fastest lap time we've seen today from Lesenby. See what he can do, if he can gain on the car in front of him, as he is. So Ethan Reed is gaining on the car in front of him with his Duncan. Ethan Reed having about he has no push to pass left. That is going to make a big difference as Duncan has 16 seconds left and Deckard has 41. But Lesenby, even though he is still setting those blazing fast times, he has 138 seconds left. If he pretty much used it the whole time, he would still have a little bit left. Because we are coming back to 1 lap left. We have one more after this. I apologize. 2 laps left. Because we have the white flag is not in the air yet. Once that white flag's in the air, it doesn't matter. It is everything you have left. Push it to the limit. Because that's everything you have. You cannot go any more after. As we see, Reed is catching up about 1 second between him and Duncan. I don't know how he's doing it with Duncan still having push to pass left. But Duncan's going to have to use that push to pass on that last lap, or else Reed is going to pass him. Here we go. Duncan is he's using that push to pass on that straight. Reed has still got a run on him. Even without the push to pass, he made such a good corner there. As it is now down to 9/10 of a second. Up to 1 in the corner. Now down to 9/10 again. He is setting such good corners. It is going to make that difference as these corners are what is key in this race. It is not the straights. It is the corners that set up the straights. Because as we saw, even with the push to pass, Duncan was still losing the interval. As it is the white flag out and somebody's off track. That was Fontaine. Aaron Fontaine in the 18 car went off track. Now in the 8th position. As we see Ethan Reed still now down to 7/10 of a second between him and Duncan. Kyle Deckard is almost solidified with that position unless he makes a major mistake with about 15 seconds of gap between him and Duncan. Deckard going down, blazing speed still setting fast lap times. He's setting fast lap times as he's still gaining that distance. As we go back and take a look at this battle between these two, as this two is going to be the closest we're going to see, except for maybe Murray. Murray and Lesenby is going to be a close one too. But this is for P2 and P3. Ethan Reed coming up to Duncan. Let's see what's going to happen here. These are some of the last corners. Not the last, but some of. And Duncan still has 3 seconds left to push to pass. He's going to have to use it, as that is going to be his only way to not let him pass him. Ethan Reed still has such a good run through the corner. Ethan Reed out to the outside, into the inside here. Is he going to make that same mistake that we saw before? No, he isn't. Both go to the outside grass. Oh, and that's going to get them both loose. Oh, we saw both go off track, and that upset Ethan Reed. I think we have our second and third place winners here. Second and third place positions. As our winner is Deckard, for sure. And we have Duncan. And then we have Reed. Let's take a look back. As we're going to see Deckard do his little bit of a victory lap. as we didn't get to see him cross the lines. There was so much of a battle between Duncan and Reed going on. Let's take a look as Deckard goes back and forth here. Such a good run from Deckard as he still has about a 17-second interval between him and Duncan. And Duncan and Reed going off track for that battle for 2 and 3 positions of 2 and 3. And now we're seeing the rest of the field come in. Lesenby and Murray settled theirs out with about a 2.5 second gap between those two. Every other car is so distanced out, it is going to make a difference as they come back to the flag. As we are now seeing Kyle Deckard, our winner by about 17 seconds for the Indy Grand Prix presented by PRA. And now I want to take a minute to mention here everybody who's helped us out here. Again, you can find, I did not mention this before, but you can find all of our leagues on the Grid Finder, which is where you can find all of it. And we see burnouts from Kyle Deckard. You can find all of our information on Grid Finder. But let's watch as Kyle Deckard damages his front back wing. And he does some burnouts, and it's a little bit fun. Oh, he's trying to just get it out of his way. Oh my, this is a good burnout too. Kyle Deckard, our winner. Andrew Duncan and then Ethan Reed in positions 2 and 3. Now let's take a minute and go interact and actually get a little bit of an interview from these 2 and 3. Positions 1, 2, and 3. Give me a second, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello? Is everybody? Who do we have here so far?
We got 2nd and 3rd in here so far.
All right. Let's start from the bottom so far of the top 3. Although you all had a great battle, I'd like to talk to both of you actually. How was that battle?
Oh, it was so much fun.
Interesting.
Saw both of you go off track, and that was a crazy battle from both of you. Now, I want to start with P3 for a personal interview though. So, who's who?
Ethan. I'm Ethan.
Okay, Ethan. I mispronounced so many names here, so if I mispronounced your name when I was looking at your car, or said the wrong name when I was looking at your car, I apologize. But I want to mention this. I mean, you were doing so good. You were catching up towards the end. How was this race in general for you?
I mean, for the most part, it was pretty good. I didn't really know the strategy coming in, so I was kind of just doing what I thought was right, which was going on the primary to the alternate. I really haven't done much IndyCar road racing, so the push to pass thing to me is foreign. So I wasn't really sure how to use that. So that was the main problem with this race. I think honestly, if I could have known how to use that a little bit better at the end, I might have been a little bit closer just because I had spammed it so much in the beginning. But overall, it was a decent race. I nearly died, I think, lap 1. There was somebody I saw in my rearview mirror that went flying, and I got a 4X, but I don't think it gave me any damage, so I seem to be okay.
We saw, or at least on the broadcast, I think it was Lesenby is how you pronounce it? I don't know. We saw him hit the wall hard by hitting that curb. And then we saw somebody on that curb where you all were battling and just barely went off into the grass, though. We saw somebody bounce it and spin it around. How did you manage to keep it clean?
I just kind of monster trucked over it the whole time, and it worked.
Yeah, I'm not sure what everybody's issue was with that curb. I hit it quite hard most of the time. I did try to avoid it as best as I could, but if I didn't need to, I wasn't going to. I knew I could go over it flat out and not have any issues as long as it wasn't new tires.
And I ask this with every broadcast I do. Is there like anybody who's helped you like get into iRacing or helped you in general with just, supporting you do it? Anything like that? Would anybody you wish to thank?
I'll thank my own pockets. Because this is very expensive. And I'll thank my parents for helping me get the pockets to do this and helping me get jobs. So, thanks to the people who raised me.
All right. Now, this would be, I'm assuming, Andrew?
Yeah. I don't know why it said that. I go by Marlo. I don't know why the broadcast says a different name. Probably need to go through change some random setting somewhere on my account.
Yeah, it just shows on based on your account name.
Okay, well, it's whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll just start. We'll start with that now. Marlo, you said,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
All right. How did we'll start? You fended off Ethan for that one for the P2 position.
yeah.
How did the race feel for you?
I decided to just kind of go with a sort of aggressive strategy. Go red tire, red tire. I've been kind of doing that off and on all season. I did get some wing damage lap one in that little kerfuffle, so that's why I went in as early as I did, just to as soon as I knew I could make it to the end, just get that wing fixed and then kind of just haul out there.
All right. Is there anything you did? Because I mean, you were running well. I mean, all day, every bit of the race. I saw you were in the top 5 most of the time, except for the pitting, because everybody went a lap down for pitting.
Mhm.
Is there anything you did other than the tire strategy? Like any way you decided to just run it? Was it just aggressive running for you that made you help?
Yeah, just aggressive running and then managing that push to pass.
I saw a lot of that. A lot of people just. I mean, we see one. I see one person that just has 92 left, even at the end of the race. So using it to get it to 0 just at the end is an incredible, just a good way to use them. Because a lot of people use it at the beginning and then don't have it at the end, or a lot of people don't have it, don't even use it all the way. So
Yeah.
great running from both of you. And for Marlo, for you, is there anybody you wish to thank?
I definitely want to thank my parents for supporting me in this crazy endeavor that I keep doing week in and week out. I also want to thank my team, Team Hypersport, for just kind of helping out and getting me entries into things and all that stuff.
All right. Thank you all. I guess we don't have our P1 finisher here, so you two are going
So
to be
I
the
guess
ones.
I'll take the trophy then.
Does that default me P2?
I don't know.
I guess.
I'll
I
take
don't
it.
know where he went. All I know is he destroyed his back wing in his burnouts and his donuts. So, it was a good race, everybody, and thank you all for the great race to have for the broadcast. And I will see you all for the next race. And thank you everybody for joining in on the broadcast side. And we will see you all next time. Have a great one.